Welcome to MojoPlays. Today, we're looking at every Call of Duty game ranked. Which one has kept you hooked for years? For this video, we're only looking at the main 16 releases and aren't including any spin-offs or remasters. Before we begin, we publish new content all week long, so be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. Number 16, Call of Duty Advanced Warfare.
Drone! Use your EMP!
The first title developed entirely by Sledgehammer, Advanced Warfare was one of the most ambitious since the original Modern Warfare. It had every reason to succeed. A fresh studio given plenty of freedom, lots of new gameplay mechanics that made the multiplayer faster than ever before, and big-name stars as its hero and villain. But it's impossible to deny that Advanced Warfare has proven to be incredibly forgettable, despite everything it did well.
Hold on, the sniper can't hit us on the street below. JVA drones, take cover!
Almost nothing about it has stuck with fans of the series. In fact, the only thing memorable was the infamous meme. Press F to pay respects to the fact that nobody cares about Advanced Warfare anymore. Number 15, Call of Duty Black Ops 4. COD campaigns are typically short and sweet. Solid stories with great actors that last for a good few hours until throwing you right into the multiplayer. But Treyarch decided to forego a standard single-player campaign in favor of focusing even more on multiplayer.
Wasted torque.
And to the game's credit, the Blackout mode is a lot of fun for Battle Royale fans, which is basically everybody at this point. However, one big issue that's plagued Black Ops 4 has been one of modern gaming's most controversial features: microtransactions. It had some of the absolute worst microtransaction markets the franchise has seen, and that's never a good way to win over fans.
That awaits me. Gracias, Bruno. I will not forget this.
Number 14, Call of Duty Infinite Warfare.
Push up. Mind the gap.
It's always great when COD does something innovative, but Infinite Warfare was just too different from its predecessor to become a fan favorite. Even before its release, it was clear this was going to be a divisive game. Its trailer remains one of the most disliked videos in YouTube's history. When it launched, players were given an interesting sci-fi campaign with another winning cast, but the multiplayer left much to be desired. Despite promising something different, the actual gameplay was more of the same with an outer space coat of paint. But one part of Infinite Warfare definitely stood out. It had an awesome zombies offering. Number 13, Call of Duty Ghosts.
1-1, you guys know this? 1-1 is re-engaging.
The Modern Warfare trilogy was one of the franchise's highest points, and unfortunately, Infinity Ward wasn't able to properly follow it up when Ghosts came around. But a game isn't bad just because it's not as good as some of the best titles of all time. It's got a longer, more challenging story than other entries, with highly varied missions, including one where you scuba dive and fight sharks. But the multiplayer took Black Ops 2's Pick 10 system and made it unnecessarily convoluted. You could spend hours trying to build elaborate, confusing loadouts before finding one that worked for you.
We're in the lead.
Number 12, Call of Duty 3.
The Germans are this far out? I thought we had this in...
It's been like this for weeks.
The third game in the franchise had an amazing single-player offering, with numerous campaigns following Allied forces across Europe as they fought to liberate France. Treyarch's first game proved their knack for creating awesome stories full of great moments. As the four campaigns intersected with one another, you really felt as though you were working toward a common goal with whole armies behind you. The multiplayer was solid as well, though it might not hold up today thanks to years of tech developments. For a game that came out in 2006, it's still a lot of fun even if you're just jumping into it now. Number 11. Call of Duty World War II. After years of exploring the future of warfare, Sledgehammer took Call of Duty back to its roots. The Second World War made a grand return and shed lots of the modern gimmicks. Gone were the exosuits and drone strikes. For much of the game, it was just you, your gun, and your grenades. This back-to-basics approach won a lot of people over, but World War II certainly wasn't perfect. It was also jam-packed with microtransactions, including loot boxes and plenty of cosmetics. And this only got worse the longer the game was out, adding more and more systems on top of each other, even as they fixed the horrendous technical issues at launch. Number 10. Call of Duty Black Ops 3. Treyarch decided to make everything a little Deus Ex in 2015 by giving players a wealth of cybernetic abilities to utilize. In a more robust campaign than most, you could upgrade these many augmentations and play co-op with 3 of your friends. The multiplayer put an even heavier emphasis on learning how to move properly, letting you boost and wall run once more. This made the already fast-paced and constantly exciting gameplay even more so than before, and the 1940s noir-themed zombie mode makes Black Ops 3 a must-play for any zombie fan.
Step right up and see the amazing Nero perform the Knives of Death.
Number 9. Call of Duty World at War. Where lots of World War II games focus on the war in France, and the Call of Duty franchise is certainly no exception, World at War went in the other direction and saw you fighting Imperial Japan in the Pacific and helping the Soviets to victory in Eastern Europe. But while the story and multiplayer were both great, World at War stood out for another reason: introducing zombies. It's difficult to now imagine COD without the undead hordes, but once, Treyarch were visionaries for imagining the series with them. With a dark story and violent animations, virtual warfare never felt so brutal.
No mercy was shown to my comrades in Stalingrad. No mercy would be shown here. An eye for an eye.
Number 8. Call of Duty Modern Warfare. In 2019, it was Infinity Ward's turn to take the series back to its roots with its bombastic reboot of the Modern Warfare series. The dark and intense single-player campaign has a stellar voice cast for its developed and interesting characters, as well as some truly unique story moments. Meanwhile, the multiplayer boasts some of the best and most detailed sound design in any modern game, sure to keep you on your toes. Its beautiful graphics and frenetic action are more than enough to make up for the infamously huge file size. And, of course, Activision released Warzone for free, meaning the series' great gameplay was more accessible than ever. Number 7. Call of Duty 2. Back in World War II once more, Infinity Ward was still on top from their second outing in what would become a legendary series. This time, there were 3 distinct campaigns. While there were plenty of missions that took place in occupied France, as you'd expect, it also featured more interesting settings, including the British campaign across northern Africa and a Soviet campaign in Moscow.
Miller, cover me!
As for the multiplayer, it had all the modes you'd expect from Call of Duty, and all the styles as well, with incredible visuals for the time. The franchise certainly didn't suffer from the sophomore slump, and only got stronger from that point on. Number 6. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3. In 2011, we rejoined series favorites Soap McTavish and Captain Price to wrap up the story begun in Modern Warfare, and the narrative was definitely a fitting conclusion. Now playing as Yuri, it was down to the player to help Price finally kill Makarov. But for any fans expecting innovation, it wasn't to be. Modern Warfare 3's multiplayer was practically identical to Modern Warfare 2, though it does get points for adding the kill confirmed mode that remains popular. Being so similar to Modern Warfare 2 isn't a bad thing at all, but it does mean 3 was disappointing. Who wants to buy the exact same game twice?
Be ready for launch.
Number 5. Call of Duty. The one that started it all. Though far more limited in both scope and vision, you have to give the original Call of Duty credit for beginning one of the most popular and profitable video game franchises of all time. Developed by Infinity Ward, the game managed to stand out from the crowd in a time where Second World War shooters were absolutely everywhere. The story treads familiar ground: Operation Overlord, the Battle of the Bulge, and the Battle of Stalingrad, but with that trademark Call of Duty flair. Giant set pieces, lots of explosions, and some of the best gunplay in the business. It's a genre-defining title for a reason, after all. Number 4. Call of Duty Black Ops 2.
I will take you to the leader of the Mujahideen. He can help you find Raúl Menendez. We have fresh horses. You will follow.
This was the very first time the series went to the future, heading to 2025 after the instigation of a new Cold War. Two stories run side by side, as returning protagonist Alex Mason is joined in the future by his son while they try to take down Raúl Menendez. It even included multiple choices and branching narratives.
Cross-reference image with active US corporate logos.
No matches.
Cross-reference worldwide.
On the multiplayer side of things, Treyarch fully leaned into Call of Duty's esports potential by adding League Mode, cementing the shooter as an annual, highly competitive title. The zombie mode was also the most robust yet, with customizable challenges and lots of large, dynamic maps. Number 3. Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare.
That helicopter's making another pass! Find some overhead cover!
Infinity Ward made numerous acclaimed games in wartime France, but the original Modern Warfare remains the biggest innovation the franchise has ever seen. Now, players had access to a modern array of weapons and perks, in interesting urban settings as you fought in Russia and the Middle East. It also revolutionized the online component by adding killstreak rewards, something it's now impossible to imagine the series without. UAVs and choppers are invaluable tools you just don't get in World War II. The bold approach and change of gears this game took definitely paid off for the franchise big time. Number 2. Call of Duty Black Ops.
For honor! For vengeance! For Russia!
In 2010, it was Treyarch's turn to ditch World War II in search of something new, and they settled on the Cold War. You're thrown into the 1960s, working for the CIA and dropping into conflicts like the Vietnam War and the Cuban Revolution. And the constant flashes to Mason's interrogation keep the plot intrigue high. But the multiplayer added many franchise staples, like the RCXD you can use to covertly blow up the enemy team, not to mention one of the most iconic maps in the series, Nuketown. And when the zany zombie mode returned, you could even play as Kennedy, Castro, and Nixon themselves.
Do not pray for easy lives, my friends. Pray to be stronger men.
Number 1. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. Modern Warfare was awesome, but the direct sequel honed that formula to gaming perfection. The campaign may have been on the short side, even for Call of Duty, but it didn't have a single dull moment, not to mention that iconic plot twist. It's no surprise the campaign was remastered as a standalone with a story that good. The online play was outstanding too, introducing a host of iconic maps like Rust and Terminal that continue to be some of the most beloved in the series. It's more fun and addictive than every game that came before or after it, and continues to be the gold standard for first-person shooters. Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from MojoPlays, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.